After Hurricane Laura, McDonald's businessman donates 10,000 free meals. As Hurricane Laura disrupted lives all across Louisiana, leaving them without power or water, a kind-hearted businessman came to the rescue of the community. The day after Hurricane Laura rolled through some areas of Louisiana and Texas, Rakesh Patel, owner of many McDonald's restaurants in Louisiana, made a call to the company. Within 24 hours, a mobile restaurant arrived in Lake Charles to help feed families in need of a warm meal after such a catastrophe. McDonald's is a company with a long history of solidarity with people around the world. An example of this is when in November 2018, the company launched its McHappy Day campaign, lovingly turning the famous Big Mac into a heart-shaped burger to raise money to the Ronald McDonald's Children's Foundation. The objective of this foundation is no other than to offer the children a home near the hospitals where they need to be treated and avoiding them to travel thousands of kilometers to complete their medical treatments. And this is just one of many kind acts performed by this fast food company. In this case, the company is the protagonist once again, but this time is through the heroic acts of Rakesh Patel. Thanks to the quick acting of this philanthropic McDonald's franchise owner, the residents of storm-ravaged Lake Charles in Louisiana got to see what the company's bigger version of Meals on Wheels was truly capable of. Laura has been the strongest hurricane to hit the state of Louisiana since 1856, surpassing even Katrina, a Category 3 storm that devastated the state in 2005. Depriving too many people of their basic needs, damaging homes and businesses, knocking down power lines, and causing flooding in some areas, Hurricane Laura left an extensive damage to Louisiana. Unfortunately, about 16 deaths have been attributed to the storm in Louisiana, including at least 4 from falling trees. Taking a look at the past, the 1856 Last Island hurricane, who is also known as the Great Storm of 1856, was one of the deadliest tropical cyclones registered for Louisiana and tied with the Hurricane Laura in 2020 as the strongest hurricane to hit Louisiana in terms of wind speed. This great storm left offshore at least 183 people drowned after steamboats and schooners sank in rough seas produced by the hurricane. Also, a storm flood between 11 and 12 feet completely submerged Last Island in Louisiana, destroying practically every structure, including the hotels and casinos, while all crops were ruined. Additionally, Last Island was split into two. Inland, heavy rainfall caused the Mermentau River to flood, destroying crops and every house in Abbeville. But today, after the pass of Hurricane Laura, Patel estimates 90% of residents are still without electricity and running water, even 2 weeks after landfall. A lot more people who have not been affected by past storms are now in a struggle. Patricia Broussard had been one of the lucky ones, but this time, Hurricane Laura devastated the mobile home where she lives with her grandson, just in the same way as it did to most of her neighbors' homes. According to CoreLogic, a data analytics firm in Irvine, California, estimated that the hurricane had produced insured losses of $8 billion to $12 billion and just $500 million was probably attributable to the storm flood. Of course, without any doubt, when Rakesh, who owns and operates 25 McDonald's restaurants in the area, realized the devastating impact of the storm that Hurricane Laura left on Louisiana residents, he knew he had to take action and do something to help. Talking about the destruction that the hurricane had left, he said that pictures that showed the tragedy did not reflect the reality, because the situation in Louisiana is much worse than what people saw on social media. Pictures don't do it justice, he said, talking about the devastation, in an interview with CNN. It's so much worse than what you're seeing on social media. A lot of the devastation has been concentrated in and around the city, which is heavily dependent on the oil and gas industry. Figuring that without running water or electricity, having a fresh and warm meal would have been hard for those impacted by Hurricane Laura's wrath, Patel's quick thinking prompted him to call McDonald's corporate headquarters with a plea for help, just by one day after Hurricane Laura made landfall, in hopes to receive a self-sustained mobile kitchen that is known as McCrig. The McCrigs are typically used for disaster relief and community events. The next day, the kitchen on wheels arrived directly from Kentucky, ready to prepare warm meals and bring a helping hand for Louisiana people. From there, Patel gathered as many employees as he could to staff the truck and serve as much food to people as possible. They kept the extreme food truck running for 6 days, serving 10,000 free brown bag meals made up of McDonald's cheeseburgers, fries, and bottled water. It was just really neat to see the whole family aspect, of how we've always said we're like a family, and it just really came to life during such a tragedy, he said. One of the recipients, Sky Nielsen, posted a photo of the free meal and the note that came with it on social media. Went to get food and drinks to cool everyone down, and McDonald's on Nelson Road was giving away free lunch, Nielsen wrote. I didn't think I could be brought to tears from a fast food restaurant. Thank you. Patel owns and operates 8 of the McDonald's, which are in Lake Charles and nearby areas. He said that the Lake Charles locations were highly affected and remain closed because they don't have power or running water, and of course, there is a lot of severe building damage. He also mentioned that there are around 400 to 500 employees at those 8 Lake Charles locations, and estimates that 90 to 95% of them evacuated before Hurricane Laura landfall on Louisiana. But for the employees who came back, Patel said he offered them an extra half pay and housing for those whose homes were damaged. McDonald's founder Ray Kroc believed we must give back to the communities that we do business in, Patel tweeted on the 4th day. Thank you to our amazing crew and managers for making this belief come alive. Even though the McCrig is not operating anymore, there is a lot of work to be done within the community. With McDonald's in Lake Charles slowly opening again, Patel said he wanted to give his employees an opportunity to still make money while serving meals and helping those in need. Some of the others McDonald's operated by Patel's have opened again, but with a limited menu and less working hours. Is well know that the immediate needs of the community are still essential supplies, like generators, water, and easy-to-transport meals. For now, Patel has done a lot and helped the community in a unique and incredible way, by providing them with warm food. We know that the rebuilding process will take a lot of time, he said. But we know that Lake Charles is going to come through this and that we'll be stronger than ever.